What's up guys, welcome back again with another video of mine, and today I'm going to do a mod showcase about my own mod because it's time there for a new and updated mod showcase for my mods as of the latest version slash patch of the mods. So the mod that I'm talking about is of course the More Awesome Tools mod, the mod that I've created. Um, for now it's still being updated. It's just going very slowly because I need to. What I firstly need to do is I need to update the mod is transfer it all over to 1.14.4. Yes, as I said, my mod is going to be updated to 1.14.4. But the big problem is I need to um, implement every block, item, etc. New into the into project. So I need to build them up again from scratch. I can't just go from 1.12.2 version directly make a port to 1.14.4. It takes it takes a bunch of time. And besides that, I'm also updating most of the textures, as of, for example, the textures of copper and crushed copper. Those are they are different, different color, differently colored. So I'm also fixing that. As Obsidian Crystal has been updated, it's not even Obsidian Ingot anymore. It's just Obsidian Crystal. So even name changes, ID changes for the objects like the blocks or items are going to change. Everything is going to be much better, and I hope to actually implement some kind of or dictionary in this, so you can essentially use all the tin, the copper, the bronze, the lead, the silver, steel, and etc. With it with other mods, like for example thermal expansion, source foundation, or boltcraft, or whatever. Because even my mod adds gears, so it's still nice and handy to have some kind of or dictionary for them to for my mods to use. Also use those mods in in combination with my mod, and with and even if it's going to update with all the current items and blocks, there will also be an update directly after that. Not immediately after it, but there will be an update after I've updated the mod to 1.14.4 with at least 30 new ores. Yeah, you heard me right. There will be in the next big update. The mod will get 30. It's a 3 plus an O plus a 0. What they say? Oh no, it's a 3 plus a 0 of ores. At, just ores at least. So be patient and just wait. Sometimes just with the quarantine it will go a little bit faster, but I didn't have enough time at my hands to work at this at the mod. So for now, just a little easy showcase. Of course, there are standard yeah, standards. I think I'm not using the right. Nope, it was the ads. Horizon tools. So of course you have the basic plants. Let's go through the plants first because JEI is so much better. Tomato plants. It's as it says. It's a plant that you can essentially plant that you can get from. You can get a seed from bushes like this. Essentially, you break them, you have a chance to get some tomato seeds. With the tomato seeds, you can essentially plant them on fertile. What was it? Farmland. So you can essentially get your tomato seeds, and it's not a food source. So for all of the flowers are just new flowers to be spawned inside the worlds, and each having going into its own respective recipe usage. Like here, dye. So rose flower, black flower, the rosa flower is going can be crafted into the black dye, which my mod adds because Minecraft itself in 1.12.2 doesn't add a specific black dye, so that's why it's also being can also be used for like stained glass, all of the coloring of the blocks, at least the most, like bats. There wasn't I couldn't get that working for some reason. So I hope in 1.14.4 I know there's another item which can be used as black dye. So instead of creating my own specific dye for the rosa flower, it will just be converted to the black dye of vanilla Minecraft. And it's the same for the rest of all the colors weren't dye to begin with in vanilla Minecraft in 1.12.2 or lower. So just the flowers. Afterwards, spawn egg for the xenomorph, which you guys all know. Same old model. As I say that, and I must say I'm busy with I'm also busy with the remodeling of the xenomorph, with even the textures being updated. Not just the model, even the whole texture will be updated, because I need to be honest about that. It's just gone, all the information of this Jaffa model. So yeah, it's a bit gone. So xenomorph, which when defeated, it can drop certain items like like the Xeno meat and the Xenomorph skin. So it can drop one. It can drop both, but not all of it. Times a day. So let's get. So the Xenomorph can drop meat, which can be essentially cooked into cooked meats. Xenomorph skin can be sharpened with a kitchen knife to get the sharp Xenomorph skin, which both can be used for crafting recipes like the Xenomorph skin, gear, eggs, hoe, and so on and so on. Except of course for the portal block. The black pearl and the blue pearl are the very first two pearl items that you can find as ores in the overworld, which can when the ore is mined, it just drops one pearl of the specific color, which both can be used to create, of course, tools and armor, and portal block. Then you have the red orb and a purple orb shards, which also need to be used for certain specific recipes, like the portal block, or the creation of certain lighters, of glass cup of gunpowder and cup of fuel. Like they are added to make essentially the fuel pot of the lighter. So that's the only usage for those. Not anything, nothing special. but they class cap of heal will have future usages, but not as but not now, not right now. Mini clay ball and mini bricks is just for decoration purposes. Tin, copper, bronze, lead, and steel are the generic materials which most of the mods adds. Like tin and copper can be used to create the bronze. Bronze together with lead creates steel, and so forth, and etc. So items which can be used literally just for tools and armor. Some have certain extra recipes like tin, I think. No, not yet. Oh well, bronze. Not really. Can be used. Can be turned into this, and then from lead to steel, and this can be used to create other recipes, like the kitchen knife or the pot, or steel and glass. So obsidian crystal, it can be you can get it by what was it? Oh yeah, by using obsidian with a destabilizer to make essentially obsidian crystal, because it just kind of dust slash blends of obsidian. So it's the reason why it's a bit on the realistic side of things, because that's what this whole mod essentially does. It's a bit realistic, but it also plays nicely in the vanilla Minecraft category, as in armor and tools ratings and all of it, and the usage and all of it. So emeralds is also added for as a material now to get certain specific items, like the emerald helmet. So it's all being it just emeralds. Tools and armor just uses the generic vanilla armor recipes. The kitchen knife you have already seen, but it can be used to create bread slices or to get some wood planks from the saplings that can be dropped from the trees, which which are spawning in your world as yeah as trees essentially. So kitchen knife, the bread slice is, as it says, it's being used to for bread related foods. The heart is you can get it by smelted heart or it drops from our heart ore. So it's nice. As I said earlier, the tomato here. The long stick is being used most of the time for the wooden gear, for the hammers in this mod. As you can see, it's all being used. The long stick is being used for every hammer and for the wooden gear, so it is needed. Squeezer, I will go a little bit later into that. This create crusher, which is essentially for being used for all your sand or glass for your glass. So glass and sand and multiple other recipes like cocoa beans for cocoa powder, as sugar for sifted sugar, apparently. Or the steel glass ingots, of course, which don't have any use. It's just an item for right now. It doesn't do anything else. I can essentially create a new pair of tools with this because of the glass swords. So essentially there could be a glass steel glass axe, steel glass hoe, and etc. So it's all just nice. A little bit of my old mod is also in here, as Sub Green Gem, and Rubian is an so to speak spiritual successor in this mod of my previous mod, which I lovely made. Basalt as it's said, it's just from basalt. Like here, cobblestone. You get cobblestone from mining the basalt block, which can be used, which can be smelted into the basalt, which is needed to build the portal block here, or the basalt brick, which essentially can get you all the other basalt block types. So decoration and some usage in one of the portals. Then you have, of course, the cobalt, tungsten, xenomorph, all of the other materials which can be used and found in the overworld or the nether to get the specific sets of armor and all. So most of the items, like orange sapphire sword, 1.6 attack speed, 6 attack damage. So if I'm going here, this is 7, this is 5, this is 6. So it's the same as an iron sword, but its durability is lower. It's lower than an iron sword. So it's, I think, if I'm right, the orange sapphire sword and the green sapphire sword have the same durability as the stone sword, but the same attack damage as the iron. And for the black pearl and blue pearl, it's just the other way around, essentially. Tungsten is also here. Fossils to get essentially all of your bones. So it's something extra. The glasses helmet, which just needs to be glasses. It's just an item. It's just a special item because it's essentially my glasses of my skin. As you can see, my glasses are a little bit bigger when I put it on. So small note to myself. I really like it. But it's osmium diamonds and emerald shards, which comes from the diamond shard ore and the emerald shard ore, which just generates a bit higher and in all of the biomes in the whole Minecraft world. So it's a bit easier to essentially get your diamonds and emeralds, but it doesn't drop. It still drops one shot, so you still need to find some diamond shard ores to get essentially one diamond. So it takes time, as you can see. Metal rings are being used for the chain, and the chain is being used to create chainmail, armor, and items. Which is not all mods that do this, but there are some other mods which add a recipe for the chainmail, and thus my mod does it too. The butter is for creating the toasty and the chocolate bar, chocolate powder, chocolate bar. Shifted sugar is for the monster energy, and of course chocolate bar. It all speaks for itself. The boiled water bucket chocolate bar can be used to create a block of chocolates. So this is just a nod of some cheesy thing that some other modders do for stupid reasons. So there's just a block of chocolate, essentially. If I can find it essentially in here. Yeah, here. So, block of chocolate. Nice texture, isn't it? The texture is going to be changed because it's little bit like wood and not like chocolate. The color grading, like soft, like how the lightning works on the block, is a bit outdated. So most of the textures are going to be changed or just updated to get certain parts right. It still plays a big. It's still all a big play on the some of the realism, like mostly for the ores. The colors of the ores in this mod are literally based on the real life equivalent or raw ore, or just the equivalent of the real life ore, as in color, to my mods. Like, okay, black pearl, red orb, and purple orb, and the blue pearl are an exception. But like tin ore and nether tin ore, those colors are also being used by the real life equivalents of the tin ore. Same for the copper, the lead, not cheese. Yeah, cheese ore. This is the way to get your cheese, by the way. Like cobalt, like how it turns into a certain blue color, even though its ore color is a bit of tin silver color. I really like how the textures work together and can be used to create some random hilarious buildings or just decorations. I just like how this all works. It's as the mods also suggest. It's just most of the time a mod that just adds more ores and of course tools to your world. So because of that, it speaks for itself. There are a bunch of ores and a bunch of tools which can be used. So I don't really know exactly which harvesting speed I gave all the items, but there's also ruby here. There's some hot dogs. There's some chicken legs. Aluminium is in my mod, so it doesn't really have as most of the items. It does have usage, yes, but it's not as much as you may think. So as aluminium can be used together with chromium and iron to get mixed oil alloy, which can be mixed, which can be smelted into a mineral ingots to get your tools, which are a bit better than diamonds. But are still a bit worse than, for example, obsidian. So it's all a little bit balanced out, but not completely. I still need to work on the balancing part of the whole tools and armor. Mixed blends for the pink gold. Pink gold ingot. It's mostly made out of gold with a bit of copper trace mixed together with silver. So it's already says which materials are used to get the mixed blends, which is gold, silver, and copper. So it's using the blends as a kind of dust. So blends are equal to dust forms in other mods. Steel and glass to make steel glass, and then of course. So silver has some usages, or no, not really. Just as an item. Nothing else. So silver tools will be coming to the mod. Crushed gold for the gold blends for the mix. Then you can get all of your pink golds and mineral, of course. But another portal, two portal pots. The dice which I spoke of earlier. There is a blue. There are also 4 different kinds of bushes, which can spawn in the overworld. Which can be right-clicked on to get a specific berry, like the blackberry, the blueberry, the raspberry, and the strawberry, which can be used to create the mix, to create 2 specific mixed berry stews, which is just extra foods, as these are also foods. Bees, they don't really have a usage. They just are hidden inside the honeycomb block, which you can break, but which you just can break to get bee or the honeycomb. The honeycomb can essentially be used to get the honeycomb, the empty honeycomb, which creates which can be crafted into the honeycomb block. Honey drop has a usage to create certain specific to create wine, Like, it says 4 here. It just misses 1. It's just a blueberry. Like, blueberry versus blueberry. So apparently I did something wrong when I made this. It's there are 2 recipes which does the blackberry, and one of them is actually supposed to be for the blueberry. So there is a bit of um, recipe conflict here, because as you can see the blueberry one is here, which just can't be crafted. So it you can only get it by debugging, or just by giving you the item by console comments or whatever. Ruby helmets, so ruby armor, amber, which can be mined by just mining an amber ore, or be smelted if you have silk touch. And amber can be crafted by using an amber block, but the amber itself as the gem item can be used to create the amber block, and from there you can create amber bricks and get smooth amber bricks. So it's again a decoration block. As most of it is this. Lignite, it's essentially coal, but it is 2 times effective. So usage, as you can see, 1 lignite smelts 16 items instead of 8, with as coal smelts 8 items per 1 coal. So lignite is just another way to get your torches, also your torches, but also to smelt for 1 item more items. It's just nice. Block of lignite does the same. Instead of 16, it smells 160 items per block, as the block of coal does 80, I believe. So it's lignite is just an upgraded version of the coal, which is a real thing, like most of the things in here, of course. Like body, body can be used to create bread, but amethyst, of course, it has the normal uses as all of the other tools and armor in my mod. Same for Brandos, but Brandos has something special with it, because it's also being used in crafting recipes for the mechanical tools and armor. So there are 3 tiers for the mechanical armor. Of course, tier 1, which just uses Brandos and iron, as you can see. But there is then you have the tier 2, which is still mostly Brandos and iron. But if you get to the tier 3, you need uranium ingots. So the uranium ingots are only obtainable by using unstable uranium together with a stabilizer, like this. This is a recipe. Nothing else works. By using these 2, because the stabilizer stabilizes the unstable uranium to give you the uranium ingots. So unstable uranium can only get it by smelting the uranium ore. So a little bit logic, and a little bit not. So Brandos and uranium together with iron creates essentially all of your mechanical armor. Like the armor is always being crafted by using the Brandos, iron, and uranium. So it's just a thing. The uranium itself, though, is also being used for circuit boards, like circuit board here, advanced circuit boards, and the super advanced circuit boards. So it also uses redstone nuggets, which is, as it says, is just a nugget of a redstone. Session have a recipe, I think. This hasn't a recipe. I'm stupid. Wow. So you need to debug the redstone nuggets, essentially. But So circuit boards. This is uranium. The fence is the circuit board with more uranium, and so on and so on. So uranium is also being used together with the circuit boards to create all of your tools in a different kind of shape and recipe as a normal slash as a vanilla tool, or my own specific way of creating armor slash tools. So it just doesn't use it doesn't use strong string or just a normal recipe for vanilla items. Iron rods you can only get an iron rod by using by right clicking an iron ingot on the squeezer. So by right clicking iron ingot on the squeezer, you get essentially 2 iron rods, which can also be crafted back into an iron ingot. So there's compatibility between this and other mods that uses the iron ingot for iron rods, for example. But the iron rods, together with all the other iron parts, can create all of the other mechanical items, all the other mechanical tools, and I'm very happy with it. So, how many ores are in the mod for right now? So, except for the Herboreus, Sycamore, and the Sycamore blocks, there are a total of how many? Let's see. No. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last. That's the last. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's already 18. Yeah. So let's see how many ores my mod adds. As of right now. So there's a total of how many different ores? As this is a row of 4 by 9. So 4 by 9, just do the math, it's essentially 36 plus 3 is 39 ores. And I'm going to add essentially 30, at least 30 ores to the mods in a future update. So essentially, keep in mind. So that means that there will be now 69 ores at least in the whole mods, and that's not speaking of ores like just like mud, because mud is essentially also an ore, or basalt, alien rock, sunstone. Where are they? Marble, limestone. Where do I have more of? Oh yeah, here the bushes. Block of gunpowder. Block of lignite. So, oh yeah, quartz ore. I've made I just made an overall ore equivalent to the nether ore, nether quartz. So, small little mod. These are the berry bushes. Some demon some demon stuff here. So if you count this with it, you have essentially you have a 5x9 space of just essentially ores. So if I do this right, you have essentially marble, basalt, limestone, and you have mud, and then the sunstone and the alien rock. So these are essentially ores. And this is just a 5x9 grid of blocks. That's a bunch of ores. And there will be 30 more. Get that into your brain. And I'm counting the nether ores in this equation because they are still different types of ores. They are essentially just different ores. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Bye.